चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा। वेलकम बैक to the 70th session of our Bhagavad Gita study class. We have come to the last section of chapter 9 and we will start from verse number 25 today. This section primarily deals with or says about the glory of direct devotional service. It explains about this. So first we will recite and today's class can be a little longer because I would like to finish this chapter today. So yanti devavrata devan pitrin yanti pitrivrataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti madhyajinopi mam. यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रतः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्या यान्ति मद्याजी नोपि माम. Yanti go Devavrataha, worshippers of demigods. Devan, to the demigods. Pitrin, to the ancestors. Yanti, go. Pitrivrataha, worshippers of ancestors. Bhutani, to the ghosts and spirits. Yanti, go. Bhutayajjaha, worshippers of ghosts and spirits. Yanti, go. Mat, my. Yajinaha, devotees. Api, but. Mam, unto me. Translation. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. So here Bhagavan clearly says, Yanti madhyaji nopi mam. So we see in the last 3 chapters, that is from chapter 7, we have seen in different verses, Bhagavan is saying about this Paramangatim, Yadgatva nani vartante tadhama paramam mama. So that is the eternal abode. And if anybody can reach there, he need not to come back again to this mortal world. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. In chapter 4 also we see. So, Bhagavan is promising again and again that anybody who goes to the eternal abode of the Lord does not come back to this mortal world. We know that Abrahma Bhuvanal Loka Punaravartinorjuna. So this entire material world consisting of 14 planetary systems, this is actually, we know that temporary, so life is not eternal here. Life is always temporary here. But here Bhagavan says, the essence we get from here, that Bhagavan is eternal, so his devotees are also eternal. Because in 9.2, when we talked about Rajavidya, that Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam, there we see Avyayam, this particular quality of Rajavidya is mentioned there. And why Avyayam? Because it continues after liberation also. And this is due to, as Bhagavan is eternal, so the relationship of the devotee with Bhagavan is also eternal. So devotees are also eternal. It is implied. So we see that as the definition of Vidya say that knowing the knowable and the path to attain that knowledge. So both. So that is why we see this entire process, that is the process, Bhakti Yoga process, is eternal. And it is because Bhagavan is eternal. So as the devotee. Because it continues after liberation also. That we will discuss in the coming verses in more elaborately now. That is why Bhagavan says that the worshippers of different devatas, they go to different upper planetary systems of the 14 planetary systems till Brahmaloka. And see the worshippers of forefathers goes to they go to their respective planets. So only the pure devotees of the Lord can reach his eternal planet. And now Bhagavan says that this particular term, Ananya Bhakti, Ananyashchintayanto Mam. So this Ananya Cheta Satatam Yo Mam Smarati Nityashaha. This Ananya term we have seen repeatedly being used by the Lord. So now Bhagavan is actually saying how to do this Ananya Bhakti. And in this discussion, in the beginning only he says that how he accepts gifts from the devotees. So we will chant the verse, and then we'll discuss. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyuparhitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Patram, a leaf, pushpam, a flower, phalam, a fruit, toyam, water, yaha, whoever, me, unto me, bhaktya, with devotion, prayachati, offers, tat, that, aham, I, bhakti uparhitam, offered in devotion, ashnami, accept, prayata atmanaha, from one impure consciousness. Translation. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. So how beautifully Bhagavan is saying that the minimum things, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, I accept, provided there is a but. That is why bhaktyuparhitam, this particular word, is very important. Ashnami, bhaktyuparhitam ashnami. See, vegetables, fruits, flowers, water, all these things, when dipped in bhakti rasa, that is accepted by the Lord. Bhagavan is actually eager to test that rasa, not the ingredients being offered. He is only in search of that bhakti rasa, and we see Bhagavan is not only bhakta paradhina, but he is hungry and thirsty for that bhakti rasa. And as we know that Bhagavan has no hunger, no thirst, he is complete in himself, but he wants only prema bhakti. That is this bhakti rasa. Now, it is not against the godhood of Krishna, Bhagavan, but actually it increases the Ananda Swarupa. So we see that pure Bhagavan and Bhaktas Bhagavan. So pure Bhagavan, Vishuddha Bhagavan and Bhaktas Bhagavan, there the reciprocation of rasa is taking place. So it is actually getting the completeness. Bhagavan is complete in himself, but that Ananda Swarupa or that reciprocation, as we know, the principle of reciprocity, we studied earlier also. So that is the thing. Now, what Bhagavan is saying that Ashnami, this particular word means I eat. So it is also the proof of Bhagavan's being with transcendental form. With a transcendental form. He is not formless, but with a transcendental form, and thus he can eat, move, etc. And it also proves that he has transcendental organs. And in Brahma Samhita also we see that angani yasya sakalindriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. So we see that his organs, they are interchangeable. One organ can perform the functions of other organs. Sakalindriya vrittimanti. So he can eat through his transcendental eyes, or by his glances he can impregnate the society and the prakriti. So, and this particular word prayatatmanaha is also very important. Who does not think about anything other than the pleasure of the Lord. Krishnendriyo praticha dhare premana. He does not expect opulent offerings. Bhagavan is not in need of anything. He does not expect anything. But he expects one thing, that is bhakti. So minimum things, patram pushpam phalam toyam, drenched in bhakti rasa, that is being accepted by the Lord. That is why we see Sudama Vipra, when he came to see the Lord in Dwaraka, we know how poverty stricken he was, and his wife gave some poha which he tied in the edge of his clothing. So Bhagavan, we see how he literally snatched that poha from Sudama Vipra. He wants everything that the bhakta has, the entire focus of the bhakta, complete surrender, that he wants. So we see that is why there is an eternal relationship of the devotee with Bhagavan. And to establish this relationship, the only thing which is needed is Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion. And all other things are unimportant. On other mundane things like material qualifications or opulence, social standard, everything. No material qualification is needed here. He need not to be rich. He can be situated anywhere in the social structure. But only thing, complete surrender, that is needed. So we see no one can be actually barred from practicing Bhakti Yoga, because we see it is universal and at the same time very, very, very easy to execute. If your heart is pure, then you can actually practice Bhakti Yoga. Or at the same time, if you practice Bhakti Yoga, in course of time, your heart will be purified also. That is also true. That we will discuss in the later part also. So in the worshipping of various devatas and yajna, etc., we see much time, effort, and like ingredients, qualified priests, these are all required to make the yajna, sacrifice, fire sacrifice, successful. So different rules and regulations are also involved. So we know the limitations of sakama karma. We also know the limitations of dhyana yoga and jnana yoga, how difficult it is to, in dhyana yoga, in chapter 6, we discussed about it. Chanchalam himana krishna pramathim balavadridham. So how difficult it is Uh, in in Dwapara Yuga, it was the situation, and for whom it was said by Arjuna, who was a man of perfect knowledge, perfect understanding, and perfect state of mind. Still, he says that how difficult and how impractical it is to practice dhyana yoga, etc. And jnana yoga also we discussed several times, so I'm not repeating it again and again. So how this is here our point of discussion is how to do this ananya bhakti that we are discussing. So patram pushpam phalam toyam, that is offering what Krishna wants. Patram pushpam phalam toyam, drenched in bhakti rasa, bhaktya prayachati, to be done with complete faith and bhakti, in simple words we can say. And then some other things are also there, as Bhagavan will say in verse number 34. I'm just giving a glimpse of this because how to do Ananya Bhakti, just a glimpse of this. Then Manmana Bhava, that is always thinking about the Lord. And Mad Bhaktaha, become my devotee. Madhyaji, that is worship me. Mam Namaskuru, that is to bow down to me. So these are all the limbs to do Ananya Bhakti, to practice Ananya Bhakti. So that we will see in the last verse of this chapter. But I just said in brief here. Now we will go to the next verse, that is verse number 27. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kanteya tat kurushva madarpanam. Yat, whatever, karoshi, you do, yat, whatever, ashnasi, you eat, yat, whatever, juhoshi, you offer, dadasi, you give away, yat, whatever, tapasyasi, austerities you perform, kanteya, O son of Kunti, tat, that, kurushva, do, mat, unto me, arpanam, as an offering. Translation: whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So how beautiful it is. Tat kurushva madarpanam. This is the main phrase of this particular shloka. Offer everything to me. Everything means everything. Whether it is any action or eating or yajna or charity or austerity, whatever it is. See, in this connection there is a very beautiful verse which is my favorite. It is in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 10th chapter, verse 38. It is from Damodara Lila, when Nalakuvera and Manigriva offering prayers to the Lord. Vani gunanu kathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu manastava padayornaha smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drushtihi satam darshanestu bhavatyanunam. So how beautiful. Vani gunanu kathane shravanam kathayam hastau cha karmasu manastava padayornaha smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat pranam. So all my organs should be completely absorbed or engaged in your thought or in the devotional service at your lotus feet. So, tat kurushvamadarpanam. So, offer everything to me. Okay, so the next verse, here we see, okay, first we will chant. शुभाशुभाफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपश्यसि. Shubha from auspicious, Ashubha and inauspicious. Phalaihi results. Evam thus mokshase, you will become free. Karma of work, bandhanaihi from the bondage, sannyasa of renunciation, yoga the yoga, yukta atma having the mind firmly set on, vimuktaha liberated, mam to me, upeshyasi you will attain. Translation. In this way you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So again Bhagavan is promising, Mam upeshyasi. Mam upeshyasi. He comes to me. It is my confirmation, my promise. And sannyasa yoga yuktatma. In the second line, this indicates to yukta vairagya that Rupa Goswami described, and we discussed also that which is called while discussing chapter 5, when Arjuna questioned that between sannyasa and karma, which is shreya. So then Bhagavan described this, and we discussed this yukta vairagya, and we also came to the conclusion that renunciation in action, that should be the mood. That is dedicating the entire life in the service of the Lord. So everything that is in my possession should be employed in the service of the Lord. That should be the attitude, which is yukta vairagya. And he is actually vimukta, that is liberated. And as we just said, mam upeshyasi, that is he comes to me. It is the Lord who promises. So we see such a pure devotee is always liberated. Mokshyase karma bandhanaihi. He will go back home, back to Godhead, mam upeshyasi. And he is beyond all mundane criticism also. Because we see it is very difficult to understand the actions of the devotees by the people who are not engaged in devotional service. That is why there is a very beautiful verse written in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.39. Tar bakko kriya mudra bigyeho na bujhayo. So most intelligent man also fails to understand the words and actions of a pure devotee, of a Shuddha Bhakta. Because he is always engaged. in different plans, different programs to please the Supreme Lord. Krishnendriyo Priti. So he is always liberated. Such a pure bhakta is always liberated. And after quitting his present body, he will go back to the Lord. And he will be engaged directly in the service of the Lord there in his spiritual body, as he had been doing it as a stage practice in this material world. Though the world is material, but the actions are transcendental. So this is stage practice. Okay. So with this, we will move on to the next verse, which is this Yukta Vairagya part, that is Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjatah Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. We discussed earlier also. So you just listen to that class if you have forgotten, because I have to finish the class today, so I am not taking much time in discussing the things which I already discussed. Okay, so Samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshvosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. Synonyms: Samaha, equally disposed; Aham, sarvabhuteshu, to all living entities; Na, no one; Me, to me; Dveshyaha, hateful; Asti, is; Na, nor; Priyaha, dear; Ye, those who; Bhajanti, render transcendental service; Tu, but; Mam, unto me; Bhaktya, in devotion; Mai, are in me; Te, such persons; Teshu, in them; Cha, also; Api, certainly; Aham, I. Translation: I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. So we see, as Bhagavan says, I don't envy anyone. I am always impartial. I am equal to all. But there is a kintu. He says, who renders transcendental loving service to me? I reciprocate according to their mode. 5 basic mode, which is the basis of personalist philosophy, as we know: Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. So we know that in 4.11 we learnt, Bhagavan said, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante, this is the principle of reciprocity we discussed. So, all path, all lead to me. But the direct path has some special merit, because we see in other paths something is absent. What is that? That is rasanubhuti. Exchange of rasas, it is not possible in other paths. And this is the highest perfection of spiritual life, exchanging the rasas with the Lord. So that is the perfection of spiritual life. So we see it is also beyond the law of karma. It belongs to the transcendental situation in which the Lord and his bhaktas act. It is actually incomparable with the actions of this material world. It cannot be compared. It is actually this Satchit Anandamaya. Its nature is this, transcendental. So we see okay, so what happened? The next verse. The next two verses we will chant together. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananyabhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hi saha. Api even, chet if, suduracharaha one committing the most abominable actions, bhajate is engaged in devotional service, mam unto me, ananya bhak without deviation, sadhuhu a saint, eva certainly, saha he, mantavyaha it is to be considered, samyak completely, vyavasitaha situated in determination, he certainly, saha he. Translation. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. And the next verse, 31, we will chant. क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छन्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति. क्षिप्रं very soon, bhavati becomes, dharma atma righteous, shashvat shantim lasting peace, nigachati attains, Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Pratijanihi declare, Na never, me my, Bhaktaha devotee, Pranashyati perishes. Translation. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So, very beautiful verses. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktah pranashyati. So, Bhagavan is giving a bold declaration that he is saying Kaunteya, that is Arjuna. Arjuna, declare it boldly that my bhaktas they are never perished. So, we see if a person is engaged in the transcendental service, he is considered to be a sadhu, even if he commits most abominable actions. So, how it is possible? We can question why. The answer Bhagavan himself is giving. The first point, the first word which is to be considered, that is in verse number 30, that is mantavyaha. Bhagavan says, I am saying this. Because I am saying this, there cannot be any question. Why? Because as if Bhagavan is saying, I can't utter any word that is false or meaningless. Because I am Sat. Bhagavan is Sat. I am pure, Shuddham, Apapa Vidham. So he is the ultimate purity, ultimate truth, supreme truth. So any word that is uttered by the Lord cannot be false or meaningless. So mantavyaha, it is to be considered because it is uttered by me. And we see purity is definitely going to come in touch to the supreme pure. Apichet suduracharo, samyak vyavasita. So he has directed his face to the supreme auspicious, the supreme pure. So definitely he will be purified very soon. So that is why I am giving this mantavya. So you should also consider in the same manner. And in Sridhara Swami says that Shobhanam Adhyavasayam Kritavan. That is, this Ananya Bhakti is the only thing that can make a human life clear and pure and effulgent. So then we can again question, then why still not flawless? Why they are not yet purified? Bhagavan says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. It will not take much time. I am assuring this. It will not take much time because definitely with the contact of the supreme pure, the impure will also be purified very soon. Provided he is unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service. And this is the strength of bhakti. And Lord is confirming this. Okay, so the next verse, this is very beautiful part we must understand very carefully. And then Bhagavan says, Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepi syuh papayonayaha striyo vaishyastatha shudras tepi yanti parangatim. And as we just said, okay, synonyms, Mam of me, he certainly, Partha, O son of Pratha, Vyapashritya, particularly taking shelter, Ye, those who, Api also, Syuhu are, Papayonayaha, born of a lower family, Striyaha, women, Vaishyaha, mercantile people, Tatha also, Shudraha, lower class men, Te api, even they, Yanti, go, Param, to the supreme, Gatim, destination. Translation. O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, that is merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Okay. So, here Bhagavan says, anybody, irrespective of how much low by birth or by action he may be, by the touch of pure, unflinching love of God, he will certainly overcome all the darkness and will shine. As we know, as we just said, because the purity makes the impure also pure. So how much low by birth or action you may be, we may be, it is possible to overcome the darkness and shine by the light of bhakti. So, but as we just said, provided there is unflinching and exclusive devotional service. And we see here you can have question why striya, shudraha, vaishyaha, they are being included in this category. See, in female body, there are certain difficulties that we must have to accept that these are barriers in practicing our spiritual sadhana. It is due to the natural process, the natural physiological or biological process. We must have to accept it. We have certain limitations. So that is why it is being considered as a low birth. There is no other reason. And as the Vaishyas, they are very much engaged in the financial transactions. So they are very much in the mundane things. And Shudras also, they are very much tamasika, that they are in the mode of ignorance. So Vaishyas, they are in the mode of mixed mode of ignorance and mode of passion. And Shudras, they are actually in the mode of ignorance. So that is why they are considered as low born. They are by birth and by action, primarily by action, we see. And for the female, it is by birth. By birth, female body that we have acquired, they have certain limitations, which are actually demerits in performing sadhana. Okay, that we will discuss some other time in detail. Now verse number 33. Kim punarbrahmana punya bhakta rajarshayasthatha anityama sukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Synonyms. Kim, how much? Punaha, again. Brahmanaha, brahmanas. Punyaha, righteous. Bhaktaha, devotees. Rajarshayaha, saintly kings. Tatha, also. Anityam, temporary. Asukham, full of miseries. Lokam, planet. Imam, this. Prapya, gaining. Bhajasva, be engaged in loving service. Mam, unto me. Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. So Bhagavan says, see, if it is the case that anybody, irrespective of how much low birth by action or by birth he may be, by the touch of mind, by unflinching, undeviated love, he can cross this darkness, this ocean of darkness, and can come to me. So, how easy it is for the Brahmanas and for the Rajarishis, for the Bhaktas. So, we see that, and this is Anityam Asukham Lokam in the second line. So, there is no real happiness in this world. It is Anityam, temporary. Asukham Lokam, there is no happiness. Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, as Bhagavan said earlier also. So, if anyone desires to get peace in this temporary, miserable world, then he must worship me with all his heart and soul. That is why Bhagavan says, Bhajasvamam, Bhajasvamam. And we see the falling of eternal soul in this temporary material world. This is the cause of our suffering. This is the cause of our misery. So what is the solution? Bhajasvamam. Bhajasvamam. Worshipping me with heart and soul. That is the only remedy, only solution. So, but the question is, how? How to do this bhajan? Bhagavan says this in the last verse of this chapter. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaishyasi yuktvevam atmanam matparayanaha. So very clear statement Bhagavan says here. Matmanaha, always thinking of me. Bhava, become. Mat, my. Bhaktaha, devotee. Mat, my. Yaji, worshipper. Mam, unto me. Namaskuru, offer obeisances. Mam, unto me. Eva, completely. Eshyasi, you will come. Yuktva, being absorbed. Evam, thus. Atmanam, your soul. Matparayanaha, devoted to me. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So how beautiful. Bhagavan is giving all the solutions one by one. How to do this Ananya Bhakti? And he says, Manmana Bhava. Arjuna, please give your mind to me. Always engage it in my thoughts. A Shuddha Bhakta, he cannot think of anything else other than the Lord. The next, Madbhaktaha Bhava. It is the highest stage, Manmana Bhavaha. But that stage is the stage of perfection. But that stage is to be reached through the next, that is Madbhaktaha Bhava. Become my Bhakta. Be attached with me through devotional service so that you will gradually love me the most. Because now you are also loving me, but you are loving many people at the same time. You are attached to many things. So when you practice Anukulyana Krishna Anushilana, when you practice favorably devotional service, when you render devotional service favorably, gradually you will feel that true love which will make you manmana. That is, your mind will be absorbed, engaged always in the thoughts of mind. And then Bhagavan says, but prior to that there is another stage, Madhyaji Bhava. Worship me, do every action to please me. As he said, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kanteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So everything, madarpanam. Offer everything to me. Whatever you do. So that is why Madhyaji. And Madhyaji also means worship me. So everything you do is actually you look upon it in this way that you are actually worshipping me. You are eating, that is also, so taking prasadam, it is also a kind of worshipping. So that is why Madhyaji. And Mam Namaskuru, bow down to me, always bow down your head to entire creation. It is not like this in the temple or like this, but Shashtanga. Bow down, complete bow down. That should be a spontaneous process. It shouldn't be like just the following others. It is not like that. here also the same verse that I just said, it is one of my favorite verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shirastava nivasa jagat praname. So, as this entire creation belongs to you, my head should be bowed down to this entire universe, entire creation. Shirastava nivasa jagat praname. And trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. The third verse of Shikshashtakam. So you should be tolerant like a tree. You should be humble than the blade of grass. So this humility, this tolerance will ultimately leads to immortality. That is the eternal relationship of the Lord, that is avyayam, as we just discussed. So, susukham kartum avyayam. And matparayanaha, as this verse says, that is yuktvevam atmanam matparayanaha. So, matparayanaha yuktvevam atmanam mameva eshyasi. So, being completely absorbed and devoted to me, you will surely come to me. You will surely come to me. So, we see how conclusive this statement is. Actually, in the whole chapter, we see Bhagavan is giving the conclusion, and this is the most conclusive verse of this entire chapter, in fact the entire scripture. And that is why we see a very similar verse in 18.66 also. The 66th verse of 18th chapter, the last chapter, is very similar. The first line is same, manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So how to do this ananya bhakti is fixed. Mam evaishyasi yuktam te pratijane priyosime. Because I said this to you, Arjuna, because you are very dear to me. So that is why I told all these things to you. There, Bhagavan will say. That means it is not for everybody, though Bhagavan is actually giving this supreme knowledge to everybody, but the acceptance may vary. You see, as we know, we discussed several times the eligibility criteria. So why Arjuna is fit to receive this knowledge? So that is why Bhagavan promises here. You see, being completely absorbed and devoted to me, you will surely come to me. You surely come to me. So, okay, with this, we have come to the end of our session, and today we have finished the most important and beautiful chapter of this entire creation, that is chapter 9, Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. So I hope we have tried to discuss it elaborately, but if you still have some questions in your mind, you can ask in some other session. We will have some question answer sessions also, and you can also write to me through email, and we will try to get back to you with the answers. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining.